Goodwill, the 19th in a series of songs and explanation by Dave Moorman. Dave and Sherry had to rush 9 hours to get to Cheyenne Wells before the moving van, unpacking on the hottest day of the year. "I love 100+ degree weather," said no one ever opined their son, Matt. They returned to Sundance for Dave's final sermon. As they returned to Colorado through Spearfish, their van died, so they left it in the UMC parking lot, and made the rest of the trip in their old Chevy. They had to get a new used van in Colby, Kansas. In 1985, Dave thought of his ministry as being a steamboat pilot, steering down the Great River. At the next appointment, he had a stubby tugboat, just shoving a barge. And so it went, church after church, his boat of ministry declining at each place. By Sundance, he was just hanging onto a log, being swept forward by the current. And now, he simply floated on the water, raising his head occasionally to share some theology and hard-earned wisdom. Kit Carson was a tiny decreasing church in a tiny decreasing town. Young families were in short supply. Yet, this aging congregation engaged the community with care and outreach, with programs for children and families. Cheyenne Wells was blessed with 3 families that each had 3 or 4 children. And they attended worship almost every Sunday. This encouraged other young families, which often meant over a dozen kids during children's time. The men added a front porch roof, remodeled a restroom, and built a mezzanine storage room. The young moms put on Wednesday Bible school each week. Cheyenne Wells started worship at 9 a.m., followed by an often extensive brunch. The Kit Carson church service began at 11, and was finished just in time to get to the best restaurant in Cheyenne County. And Dave was having the time of his life. Cheyenne Wells had installed large video projection screens at the front of the sanctuary, which meant that he could use slides and video clips to illustrate the sermon. Also, every service began with praise song videos. The screens allowed them to show internet-streamed evangelical events and faith movies for the whole community. They also put a screen facing the chancel. Was great for seeing the video while preaching. More importantly, the children could see the words and actions for the songs they sang. Dave's ministry involved challenging the good conservative Christians to engage in deep theological thinking. They looked at the radically different nativity stories in the various Gospels. And he took the class into a deep study through Bishop Spong's book, The Fourth Gospel, Tales of a Jewish Mystic. This was balanced a couple of months later when they looked again at the Gospel of John, through the very accessible theology of Adam Hamilton. Thanks for listening. Be sure to click like and subscribe to hear more of Dave's life in music.